Hi everyone. Here I am a night that I can't sleep. What time is it? 3:01. Is it really? It is 3 o'clock in the morning. Can't sleep, so I thought, well, I'm just going to get up and doodle or something. And so I was looking through my journal here. This is just kind of a complicated art journal. I mean, it's just a little bit of everything. And scribble drawing and then watercolor over it. And one of the things that I'm really enjoying doing lately is I've just recently discovered graphic art. And, no, neurographic art. I gotta have my little girl sitting up here with the rest of the friends. Okay. And I'm finding so many different things you can do with the neurographic art. And I am just having a blast with it. I'm having so much fun. And it is so, it's just so calming. This is just so calming. Now this is just something else I was doing with some Zen Doodle. Each page is something. No, this isn't, wait a minute, this isn't getting into my, that's an owl. I drew him a long time ago. And that's Zen Doodling. Where did my graphic art start? Just a minute, wait, oops. It's just very, I think this was the very first one I did. Very first one I did, and I was hooked. And then some of them I've started, I mean, I've done so much on them and then stop and go to the next. But I may come back to this one and do something more on this one. This one here, I thought that this was fun. I did a little bit of neurographic art on the 2 pages, but then I had these 2 images that was in some junk mail. And they're Amish people, and they were advertising a book that they have, Amish books. And well, I just cut the characters out and put them on them 2 pages, and I thought that made a really good art page. And so, and there's some more neurographic, or I should say neurographic art, because neurographica, I'm understanding, is a copyright name, and I don't want to call it neurographica if it's not exactly neurographica, so I'll call it neurographic art. And then this one, I like how that one turned out, using the Sharpie marker and then coloring it in with colored pencils. And there's one that's a little teddy bear. And this one is just the art itself. And again, but as you can see, there is no sharp corners in here. Everything is rounded. And your goal in any neurographic type of art is that you want to end up with no sharp, oh, there's one I missed right there. No sharp corners. Everything is round. This one I used a fine line Sharpie and a bold Sharpie. So I did some neurographic lines with a bold Sharpie and then with the fine line Sharpie. And you can see how the fine lines, I kind of really like the look of that. I could go back and color that one day if I want. That's when I started, and I started coloring it and then just went on to another one because I don't always finish things. And this is one of my earlier ones too. And here's like I colored just parts of it. Actually, I went around my my ink pad to get that shape. After I did all the neurographic lines, then I went over with my ink pad and just traced those shapes over all the neurographic lines already, and then I went over and just colored those parts in it. So you make it your own. You just make it your own. And then this one here I did. This is one where I followed a penny. I put a penny on the page, or a stone I used, and just followed the stone and let the stone tell me where to put the lines. And then I went around and made a circle and colored just inside the circle. And there, here, just colored inside the 2 circles. And I think it just really, I love the circles because everything is rounded. Now, a couple of them, like, is, I have some square corners, but again, it's your art. It's your art. And when it's neurographic art, again, see, you don't see any square corners in here. Everything is rounded. We round everything. This was supposed to be a neuro tree with the roots, the trunk, the roots being your past, the trunk being your today, and the crown of the tree being your future. This was supposed to be a tree too, but it doesn't really look like a tree. I wrote on there, what is above, so below. So you're above, your trunk, your today, and your below. That's your roots. This is a little flower I drew. And I did that. I tried to do a flower and also do the neurographica a little bit within that, or the neurographic art by rounding. Now, on this, I didn't get everything rounded, but where something come to a point like that, the leaf is actually to a point, but I rounded inside of it. And so the insides of the leaves are rounded. So that was kind of neat. And again, and this is what I'm telling you, it is, this one I did and did Zentangles all inside. That one I started. There's a heart. This one was deep. This was deep. It's, they call it shamanic rain. Earth, clouds, rain, and sprouts. And I did 2 of them, and I want to do another one, but this one looks real muddy, but I still like it, and I like the idea with that. This one here is kind of fun. This one here was that's my teddy bear. This one was done where you draw 2 eyes first, 2 little circles first, and then do all the neurographic art, and then find the neural lines, and then you find an animal inside of it. This one was supposed to be kind of the same thing, and that was his eyes, and that looks like a big nose, but I'm not sure what kind of animal that is. Maybe I just need to work on him some more. There was a whole nother, I watch a lot of videos and go along with the videos, and this was another one that was very deep when you listen to the instructor as how to go ahead and do it. This was very deep too. This is my Cinderella story, and this was, I went along with the instructor, and she first said to choose a like your favorite fairy tale, and a lot of words that went with my favorite fairy tale, which I put Cinderella, and 2 words first to describe what the story was, and I put magical and a journey, and then I kind of just words that followed along the story. Alone, hopeful, mean stepsisters, sad, horrible stepmother, and then here we go in kindness, and the kind godmother comes, and then hopeful and loving and strong, and then here at the end, love and magical, and love myself, happiness. And it's just, that was interesting to go along that story too with that class. Again, this one was kind of doing the tree, but just for the fun of it. And here I went with colored pencil. Didn't use a black marker, just used the colored pencil to do the neural lines and do the rounding. I can see a couple places where I didn't get the round, but and then colored. And that one was pretty. This was another one. This is something I started at going along for a while, was my ends, like little tendrils. I like my little ends here. I like the tendrils. That is just something I added myself, and I put a little, like a little blob at the end of each tendril, and I think that looks fun. And then I colored in the closed shapes, but if there was a place that it wasn't closed, I didn't color, and I used colored pencils for that. And this one too, I did the tendrils again. And then I colored in, I used a different color Sharpie marker to do the neural lines, and then I put dots all the way around. I had put my little blob at the end of the tendrils. It's just something I started doing. And then I put some dots with just some, well, they were white. I used a white Posca pen, but they turned pink. And then I just went all the way around the edge with the pink marker, and made just the little dots all the way around the edge. And I think that's pretty. And then this one I did with a orange marker, and then just kind of colored oranges, put the blue in the middle, but then put the dots all the way around the edge with the blue. And I think that's pretty. This one, I wasn't too happy with this one, because I did kind of the same thing with a flower, but doing it, now that I look at it in the screen on the computer, it looks a little better than in real life. But I did that whole thing with a heavy marker, and then I changed and used a lightweight marker, the fine line marker, Sharpie, and I drew out the flower. And I don't try to do my flowers and things just exactly right. I just sort of, I draw these very fast. And so it probably took me a minute to draw that whole thing. And I just draw very fast. And sometimes my leaves aren't attached or something. And that's just what I do. But then I went and I rounded. I did all that rounding in them. And I think by rounding, like you can see in the veins here, I did rounding in them. And I'm loving the rounding is what we get in when we're doing our neurographic art. And then here was one, I just did this one. I used the lightweight, the fine line marker, Sharpie, and I did all the rounding, put the little blobs on the end, and then just by my drawer of colored pencils sits right next to me here, and so I just would reach in there and pick out, without looking, I picked out a colored pencil, and that's what I would color that spot. So each one of those are a different colored pencil. And now I didn't color down here because it's not closed in. But all of that is rounded. I'm going to do just a quick one here. I'm just going to do a quick one. I'm going to, if y'all haven't seen my, I did a live today and made my angels, and I love my angels. I'm not ready to put them away yet. So I just have to put them there. And I love her. Isn't she beautiful? And there's Carmen. Okay, now I'm going to use just a fine line sharp. That's a blue one. Okay, I'm going to use a fine line Sharpie on this one. And I'm going to, I use a blotter page behind it so I don't ruin the next page. I learned that one real quickly. And so now, like I say, with a neurographic art, you start with neural lines. They call them neural lines. And and they just go, let your pen decide where it wants to go. And so, but you don't want any straight lines, you don't want any repeating lines. So nothing straight and nothing repeating, but you want your lines to cross over and just kind of, I won't do too many lines on here, but we just want them. So there's my lines. And so now it just looks like a scribble. So then what you'd start doing is you start rounding the corners. You round. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and go to a larger pen so that you can see, because I can tell you can't hardly see right there. My black Sharpie here. Now, so what I mean by rounding, every place where you see a cross over, you know what I need to do is I should have did this whole thing in a dark Sharpie. I'm going to just go around. I want to go there. See, that shows up much better. I'm just drawing over the lines I already drew. Sort of drawing over the lines I already drew. Not getting them exactly, but it's my art piece, so I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Because if you haven't seen anything, there is many videos online that you can find that show neurographica or neurographic art processes. There, I just kind of covered over them. Now you can see the lines. But what we want to do is you want to round all the corners. And so by doing that, now what I find easiest is like here. This is almost like a square, so it's kind of it's got 4 sides. So I'm going to just go, and I'm going to go inside that, and I'm going to go around, and instead of stopping at the intersections, I just went and took a little shortcut around. Don't drive like that, though. It's not legal. And then you just color in those corners. Color in those corners that you just didn't stop at the stop sign, okay? And then here, see, now this next one here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around. Don't stop at them stop signs. Just go around and then color in that little space. Now, you can do it by each corner, too. You can go this way and then color that in. And then you can go to this intersection like this, and you can then color in that intersection. You rounded them. But I find myself that I have, because I don't want these little pieces. See how this one's more smooth around? The line is more smooth, and then here I got a lump. Well, see, I find that if I go around and do the line and turn them curves first, I get a smoother line. And so here, see, I'll go like this. This is just the most, this was discovered by a Russian psychotherapist, or a Russian he wasn't psycho, you know, I guess he was a scientist, a science of psychology or something like that. And this is now being used in a lot of ways for calming, like if you have anxiety, depression, PTSD, anything like that, that kind of takes over your mind, you know, that just kind of fills up your mind. See there? And now I put that little loop on the end. I like my little loops on the end. So then I'll go around here. And a lot of times these are done in group sessions. And I have found, since I discovered, well, you've seen, well, then this is not even all of them. I've also got some that I'm doing in a book, in a regular novel. I'm just using the novel as for pages, art pages. Okay, so then I'm gonna go round that corner. I put my loops. That's my loops. That's my signature right there. Put them loops on there. Well, I shouldn't say it's mine because somebody else might do it too. But and that's this. Your goal then is to get all these corners. And they say too, when you start one, don't stop until you're finished. Don't stop until you're finished rounding. Make sure that you keep going until all your corners are rounded. Now see here where I didn't cover over that whole first line real good, so I'll just broaden that line, and so it'll make a thick heavy line right there, but it's okay, it's round. That's what I want. I don't want any square corners, nothing sharp. You stay away from sharp objects. And it's just a lot of fun, and most people that I've seen doing it do it with a Sharpie marker. Now some say they can't deal with the smell, and the smell is a little bit strong in your Sharpie marker. So do it in a well-ventilated place, or find a marker that doesn't have that odor. Now I'm kind of going fast on this, so I'm not getting it real if I went a little bit slower, I'd get my lines a little bit smoother, because you really want smooth lines. But the thing is, then you can go over, you can take as much time as you want. And like some of these that I have in this journal, I'll go later on and I will add more to it. Just now when I was flipping through it, I was noticing some places that I want to go and work on them some more. And see, get all them, round all the corners. And make sure they're neural lines. Don't just make like a crossovers. Those are not neural lines. You want your neural lines to be moving. You want them moving and not in a hurry. You want them going, you want them winding around, and it's like you don't have a a destination. Just you're taking your pen on a journey. No destination. If you just do straight lines across, it looks like you're in a hurry to get somewhere, and don't be in any hurry to get anywhere. I'm making these only wide because that's where I put those first skinny lines in, and I'm covering them up. Okay, do I have a, see, now you can look and you can see, oh, no, I don't have all my corners. Oh, look at there. Let's get those corners out of there. And then you don't have to color them. You don't have to color them. You can leave it just like it is. Maybe you want to draw a flower in the middle of all of them. I don't know. It's your art. And so when you do neurographic art, then it's yours to do. Like I said, the neurographic, I heard somebody say it's a copyrighted word. And so, and there are people that are certified to teach neurographica, but the neurographic art is your art. And so now, see, I might look at that and say, well, I should have had more line down here. So you know what I can do? I can go ahead and make another line. Just one more line right across there. And just kind of squirreled it around there. And now I'll get those corners. Get those corners. And again, I'm going kind of fast here. Take your time when you do it. Take your time. And this, like, if you're at the end of a rough day, today was a rough day, and trying to do your taxes or whatever, yeah, We'll end the day with some neurographic art before you try to go to sleep. Do just a page of neurographic art before you go to sleep. And see what happens. I think you will find that you will feel yourself calming. You will feel yourself just unwinding from the busy day. If you've been over at your accountant and trying to get these taxes done, and then you had to stop at the grocery store on the way home, and then you had to pick up the laundry from the cleaners, and then you get home and you think, oh my God, what a day, you know. Then, you know, something like this. Have your dinner and then sit down with a pencil or a marker or whatever and do a little newer. Now, see, I added that, look at that. I almost ended up with a heart there. And it kind of looks like a heart. I did not intend for a heart to be there, but it almost looks like a heart. And then I have got just a drawer beside of me here that's got pencils, just pencils. It's in that drawer. And so what I like to do is just reach, well, that one didn't get real rounded right there. I like to reach right in, like on that last one. I want to color in just the closed in shapes. Just the shapes that are closed in. And now I'm not even going to look at, see what pencil I pick up. I'm just going to pick up a pencil, and that's the one I'm going to use. And so, and I kind of like this rainbow effect, you know, because I love color. And like I say, like you've seen in some of my last ones, they were, that's a real light pink. I didn't put any color in, and some of them I just chose, oh, there's another little piece I didn't round. Gotta get that. Let me fix that. Gotta get that round. Otherwise, it's going to be wrong. There we go. That. Now, see, if I looked, I probably wouldn't have picked up this here color green. I would probably passed it up. But, and some of my pencils in there are watercolors. Some of them are Crayola. Some of them are Prismacolor. And, well, see, I probably wouldn't have picked up this one because it's so similar to that one. But that's what I picked up, so that's what's going in there. And then I'll just color that piece. Reach in there. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of pastels here. Just reach in there and pick up a color. Yellow. And again, another really light one. This one's kind of a beige color. That's a Prismacolor. And because I've got so many different brands of pencils in this drawer, I've got special pencils too that I've got still in their tins. But I'm just using my, well, my Prismacolors are special too. Oh, they're all special. Crayolas are special. What's this one? Oh, that's a Prisma. I kind of almost knew it was when I started coloring with it because it's so soft. There we go. That's a Crayola. That's a Crayola yellow. But I like to just not even think about the color I'm picking and just pick a pencil out of that drawer. If you've got pencils in a box or something, just pick one without really even looking at it. Just pick it, pick the color. I mean, if you want to. I mean, if you want to have yours all, you know, like a monochrome that you would want maybe all different colors of red or all just different colors of blue. Those are pretty too. So it's whatever you feel like doing at that very moment. There's another yellow. Some bright sunshine in here. There is even the story behind colors. With every color, well, every color means something. I'm not real versed on that as to know what each color means. Let's see. I leave my pencil there that I already used it, so I don't pull that same color again. So there. That one's like a lime green. That's pretty. I used to not like the color green so much, but lately I really do like. I got one little spot there. What color is that going to be? It's going to be this real pretty purple. There. Now that's all I want to do is just color the spot. Everything else on there, nothing else is closed. So, but what I think I'm going to do though, I want to pick, I think I want like a red. I'm going to get a marker. Take a red one. And I'm going to go, because I think it sort of looks like a heart with a lump. And I'm going to go around the heart and make my little dots. I kind of like those little dots. And so see, you can now really go with your follow your heart and make your art. And but the thing in anything neurographic, I think you want to try to stay with round, just stay with round. So these little polka dots are little round polka dots. And to make it really, the calming factor in it is the round. Now my flowers that I did, those I'm just playing with them a little bit. And so there's a lot of pointy leaves and stuff. But still, by putting the rounding in them is still a form of neurographic art. Because I'm getting that round in there. I had to just hold that page still a little bit there. And so, and then I'm just going around. I could go up along the tendrils too that are poking out. But I'm just going to right now just go here. And then I put the little dots all the way around. Just the colored part and not the tendrils. I could go around the tendrils too. Maybe I want to color in those tendrils. Put them, well, I shouldn't have done that because now that I started doing that, it kind of takes away the look that I like. But But it's okay. It's just, no, actually, now that I look at it, now that I'm getting more of them colored, I like it. I like it just fine. And I'll have to go back on this one and kind of tidy it up some. I didn't want to keep you here all night because I got some outer lines here when I first made the. And then always have your chop. A famous artist like me, you know, we all have our little chop we put on our. And you should date your things too. If you date your things, then you can look at like if you continue doing this type of thing, and you can go back and look at them and you see the dates and say, whoa, that's not where I was a year ago. And I still have quite a few pages. See, here I've done some using book pages, and I've done some different things, and I like that. See, just on a book page. And so it's endless. This is something else I did, but if you have black paper and a white pen, that would be awesome too. So, but yeah, that's what I got so far. So I just wanted to show you that. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to do a live video, but my live video tomorrow will be on my card that I pull, my prompt card, which I pulled. My prompt card that I pulled is steampunk. So I'll hopefully around 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'll probably do a live stream on something steampunk. Not even sure yet what I'm going to do on steampunk, but it'll be steampunk. Okay, I'm going to read a little something because I always do. This afternoon I had Papa sing with me. We sang. You know what here? I just opened that and it says, fathers are wonderful people. So I'm going to read that. See what it says about fathers. Oh, this is a book, I should say. Poems of Faith by Helen Steiner Rice. Love that lady. And this is where I get a lot of my ideas to draw my flowers. In this book. And I kind of use these as I don't draw them the same. Mine don't come out so beautiful like that. But they're a simple flower, and I use those when I do draw. I kind of use this as just a focal point that I can kind of focus on while I'm drawing my own. My own turns out way different. Okay. Fathers are wonderful people, too little understood. And we do not sing their praises as often as we should. And Father struggles daily to live up to his image as protector and provider and hero of the scrimmage. And perhaps that is the reason we sometimes get the notion that fathers are not subject to the thing we call emotion. But if you look inside Dad's heart, where no one else can see, you'll find the sentimental and the soft as he can be. Fathers are just wonderful in a million different ways, and they merit loving compliments and allocates of praise. For the only reason Dad aspires to fortune and success is to make the family proud of him and bring them happiness. And like our Heavenly Father, he's a guardian and a guide, someone that we can count on to always be on our side. And that is so true. When talking about my father, and my father, he was a protector and a provider, and we do not sing their praises as often as we should. My father passed away at a young age. He was in his early 60s, and sometimes I think if I could have just had him a little bit longer and let myself get a little older, have him a little longer, I would have probably showed a lot more appreciation than what I did. Not that I didn't appreciate it. Here it says that fathers are not a subject to the thing we call emotion. But if you look inside Dad's heart, where no one else can see. You'll find he's sentimental and as soft as he can be. And see, and that was my dad. Not a whole lot of emotion. He was like a dad, just a storybook dad. He was a provider and he was there to protect us. And he didn't show a lot of emotion. And maybe if he would have been able to live to retirement, maybe he would have. But he worked. In fact, the morning that he passed away, he was getting ready to go to work. He was a carpenter and he was getting ready to go to work. And he had a massive heart attack and that was it. But anyhow, this is something. If you haven't, and you do not have to be not one iota of an artist to be able to do this. And I think you'd be very surprised at how beautiful your artwork will turn out. And it is beautiful. Okay, thanks for being here with me. Now it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe now I'll try and go back to bed. I don't know. But anyway, may God watch over you every step you take, every move you make. Keep you healthy, keep you happy, keep you humble, and keep you safe. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.